Good morning, Tony Dattino here. I am the founder and chairman of the USA Memory Championship, and we had a really terrific call yesterday with Full Sail University, who is our host university for the 25th USA Memory Championship. And people ask, how did you get to go to Full Sail? And it's a pretty good school, and that's a outstanding school for media and students that go in and learn how to work out in the broadcasting world. And it actually came through a connection we had with a Jewish community center in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. And the CEO there had a member on his board that worked for Disney. And the person that worked for Disney said, hey, we use students from Full Sail to do a lot of our work, and it trains them and teaches them how to do it. And so we went to Full Sail, met the executive there, and he was interested. And the first year we hosted it at the Jewish Community Center in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. And the year after, they said, boy, we would love to do this. This is a comprehensive event. But boy, we had to bring trucks with lighting and the equipment, and it just took us so much time to set it up, and we didn't have all the right utility outlets and things. But if you would want to, we would love to do this again. It's a great comprehensive project for the students. And if you would be able or willing to, you can come to our studio that we have, where the students actually learn how to play on real equipment and real studio. So it's like it is a regular production studio. And so we went out and visited the studio and said, you know what, we'll do it there. And so we will be doing our next event at the studio at Full Sail University, which is exciting because the students get a great opportunity to do a comprehensive broadcast, and we create a YouTube video for 2+ hours. So it's a good project for them. They learn a lot in terms of sound and projection and lighting and staging and interviewing, and so it is a comprehensive program, and they have been fabulous. Corbett Campbell has just been a terrific person to work with. He knows what he's doing, obviously, and just is a delight to work with. And so it's created a great partnership in going out to Winter Park, Florida at the university. So we had our initial meeting this week to set up what we're doing, and we discovered that the director that works for him was smart enough last year to bring some new students into it so she could build on the experience of those students and bring them back this year. So half of the students working on the project will have been through it at least once and have had some experience. So I thought that was brilliant, and we're ready to go. So we've got students that have been there and some new students that'll come on board, and if we keep rolling that over, God knows how long we'll be doing this. But in any case, we're excited about it. It's a great facility, and you can start checking on September the 29th. The actual filming will be done on the 28th, and then that will get edited and put out on YouTube on the 29th. And we had a discussion about what the events are. So we obviously will start as usual with our long-term memory, and this is where the mental athletes get to study over 600 pieces of information over a period of a month. So they'll get that information on August the 27th, and they will need to be ready to answer questions about that information on September the 28th. And when people say, well, gee, isn't that kind of easy? Well, it's easy to the point where if you were just remembering data bits one for one, what state and country or what person's name and how old are they. But when you start mixing it and say, well, how many people were born in December of 1948? And now you've got 600 pieces of information you got to go through and say, God, so how many people have a common denominator of when they were born? And so it's an interesting exercise of not just having people do what we call rote memory and just cram in information that they can then repeat like a parrot, but no, they're going to have to think. It's a learning to learn exercise, meaning how do I take this information, this database, and work my brain like a computer and sort out all of the same people that were born in a given year. And so it takes a whole lot more than just being rote memory and just cramming information into your head. which is a demonstration of memory is a skill that can help you to improve your learning in academics. It can help you improve your professional life. It's a skill that can be transported to everything you do in your life. So that's the important piece about the event. Then we go to a second event. We call it Tea Party. And we were discussing how many Tea Party guests should we have. So now, what is a Tea Party? Well, Full Sail will have several of their students record information, the name, maybe their birthday, some of their favorite foods, their hobbies, and they will come out in a video. So they'll pre-record this so we have a consistent format, and they'll give their name and phone and address or different pieces of information. We change it usually every year. But they'll give their information out, and 5 people will do that. And the mental athletes will listen to that. They'll be able to take notes initially. We'll give them a mind map that they can study for a few minutes. And then the people will come back out on stage, or we'll bring them back out in a different order. And the mental athletes start to answer their questions about their name and their phone number, their address, their favorite foods. And we eliminate 3 people in that event. So we call it the Tea Party. 3 strikes, you're out of the party. From the party, we'll go into what we call a word list. So they will get a list of words. They'll go off stage, and they have several hundred words that they'll have to remember in order. And they'll come back out on stage, and then whoever is left at that point in the competition will have to recall the first word, second word, third word, and down they go through the ranks until we eliminate several people from that. Which then brings us to the final event of the day, which is a shuffle deck of cards. And so they get 2 decks of cards. They get to study them and put them right in front of them, and everybody watches what they're doing, because this is a 5-minute exercise that we put them on stage and put your brain right there, and hopefully we have 3 people that are ready to go at it, and then they have to call back the sequence of the cards. And at the end of that, we've got our champion. Now, to start our day off, Lumos Labs has a game that they get to play in private. They get into a conference room and they get to play a Lumosity game, which then helps us to put the seating, meaning who's going to sit in the first seat, the second seat, the third seat. And what's interesting about that is the different people that we've learned in the years really think about what seat they're going to sit in, how that seat fits into their into where they want to position themselves in the competition. So that's what's coming up on September the 28th. You'll be able to see that on a YouTube video on September the 29th. And it's exciting. We've got new competitors this year. We've got a whole group of people, and we're most likely to crown a new USA Memory champion, which is always exciting for us to have new people come into the event. And the winner of this event will be invited to Champions of Memory will be competing at MIT on November the 10th to see, of all of our champions and people that have competed in the past, who's going to come out above it all when we mix all of our champions together. So we've got an exciting year planned for our 25th anniversary, and we're looking forward to, first of all, as I say to the mental athletes that compete, they're already winners in the game of life because they've learned skills that have made a difference in their lives. And the fact that they have the courage to put their brain on display is just exciting to me. So we're looking forward to it. We put lots of work. Karen Pinson is already putting together the long-term memory events, and she puts a tremendous amount of work and effort into this, which totally gets unrecognized so often. And certainly for those of us in the middle of it and putting all the effort into it, it is a lot of work, but you know, this is our 25th year of doing it. And there's something about when people ask me, why do you keep doing this? And I just say, because it makes such a big difference in people's lives. And let's look at today's weather forecast as we look at about going and what they're doing, and we get through the coming week safely as our first hurricane of the season is coming upon us. And we're only at the beginning of this, so be smart and be safe, and we'll see you here on Friday.